What up, everybody? This is your boy Dedrian Colon from House of Wrestling. This is my review for the March 18th episode of AEW Rampage. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow House of Wrestling on all social media platforms. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And tonight was pretty dope. It was fun. I really liked the ending, and the start of the show was awesome. Darby Allin, one of my favorites in AEW. But no, this was a really cool show. There were a few things that could have tweaked, and a few things, especially in a promo by Dan Lambert, that they could have kept out, which is kind of getting annoying from him. But I'll get into that. But yeah, it started off with Darby Allin versus the Butcher. Kudos to the Butcher. Man, the guy's gotten himself into a lot of shape, some good shape. He spent some time. He was dealing with an injury. And, man, he looks really good. Kudos to him. Butcher and Blade, man, that's a team, I believe, it's one of the few teams that AEW is really underutilizing, that since Tony Khan has purchased Ring of Honor, that's one team I could see going to Ring of Honor and really establishing themselves as a really solid tag team in Ring of Honor's tag team division, which, that, mark my words, that might be a team that you see in Ring of Honor, which I would not mind. I really love their tag team work. They were a really solid tag team, but it could be good for them to go to Ring of Honor. But no, this match was really good. The Butcher, man, he laid in to Darby Allin in this match. Darby got a lot of chops. He got thrown into the ring stairs, and just, oh man, he laid into Darby. Like, this is one of the most recent Darby Allin matches where he got pretty physical. Like, mind you, Darby Allin has some physical matches, but I'm talking about a big guy really laying in some stuff on Darby Allin. Darby Allin countered a lot of offense that the Butcher was giving him, including a coffin drop while the Butcher was on ringside, and he did a coffin drop, I believe, from one of the top ropes onto the floor. Man, that coffin drop, it's a crazy ass move, and I don't know how he performs it, but he does it very well. I would say it's this generation's Swanton Bomb, the one that Jeff Hardy does, but man, he does it perfect, and the way he glides and just hits, it's so good. Darby Allin, he wins the match, and of course he's celebrating, and then you get the Andrade family office coming down at ringside, and you get the Blade, you get Private Party. They're all coming down to ringside, of course, as Andrade and, it was Andrade, the Blade, forgive me guys, you get Andrade, the Blade, who else? His secretary, they're coming down, and Sting and Darby are looking at them, and then you get Private Party attacking them and everything, and then everybody else gets in the ring. They're just beating them up, and then what do you hear? Yes, the Hardy Boys come down. They make the save. Andrade family office, they leave. Matt Hardy grabs a mic, and he's like, you know what? Why don't next week on Dynamite, myself, Brother Nero, Darby, and the Icon Sting face you guys in let me get this correct. It was an 8-man tag tornado match. I'm glad they specified tornado match, because when they have 4-man tags, nobody obeys the rules, and there are no rules. So at least, because it's a tornado tag match, it's logical if there are no rules and no rules are being applied, because that is the basis of the match. I like that. I look forward to that match on Dynamite. I like that they have the Hardys with Sting and Darby. I don't know if it's necessarily going to lead to a Hardy Boys versus Sting and Darby match, but I do think they are leading towards a Jeff Hardy Darby Allin match at Double or Nothing. That's something I believe that AEW is leading towards. going into Double or Nothing. I believe that's going to be one of the marquee matches for Double or Nothing. You're going to have Darby Allin versus Sting at Double or Nothing, or Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy. Forgive me. You're going to have Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy at Double or Nothing. And if you notice, since since Jeff Hardy's arrived in AEW, if you go back and watch Dynamite, Rampage, what have you, they always have Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy next to each other. Like they always have them, like they're the bridge between both teams. It's Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy, and that is going to be a cool match. That's going to be a match that's going to put a lot of they're going to sell a lot of merchandise, and Jeff Hardy has been proven as a top merch mover wherever he was. TNA, WWE, his first stint in WWE, his second stint, his third, he could sell some merch. So I'm looking forward to that. I believe that's going to be one of my predictions. Darby Allin, Jeff Hardy, Double or Nothing. Then you get a backstage segment with Scorpio Sky, Paige Van Zandt, and Dan Lambert. Basically talking about how he's the champ. Nobody's going to beat him. This promo was good until Dan Lambert uttered the words, Paige Van Zandt signed her contract over Ty Conti, and I'm like, oh, Lord. Oh, God. And then he didn't say anything, and then he says, it's not the first time that a contract has gotten an STD, and it's like, come on, dude. Like, every promo he gives, if it involves a woman, has to resort to some sexual reference. Like, at first it was just like, whoa. But now it's kind of like, maybe it's just me, but it's like, dude, you're telling on yourself. Like, why does everything have to be so resort to some sexual reference to any woman when you're giving a promo? Like, come on, dude. Like, really? Like, you couldn't think of anything better? Like, Ty Conti, I believe she's done some MMA or, and stuff like that. Like, you couldn't refer to that. Like, come on, man. Like, I did not like that. I didn't like it when he was referring to Brandy Rhodes in that promo in Chicago. That wasn't fun. Yeah, it just wasn't like, it wasn't it, man. And this is not it. He can do better than that, man. Like, if he's been there, almost half a year, and if you're giving promos about women and you always resort to some sexual reference, that's very disturbing, because it seems like that's the only thing you see in a woman, and it seems like that's the only, there's a creative way to quote unquote diss someone in professional wrestling, especially a woman. There is a creative way you can do it without having some sexual reference. But I don't know. I'm just tired of it. Like, me personally, it's not entertaining. It's not, oh my God, it's not shocking or anything. It's just ignorant, man. Like, it's just ignorant and lowball. Like, that's something that you would hear in like early 2000s, like late 90s ECW. Like, this is like 2022. Like, come on, man. I didn't like it. So from there, you had a match between Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet. This was dope. Layla Hirsch grabbing her wrench, her big ass wrench, like this big, using it in her match. I gotta say, you know what? Kudos to Red Velvet. She looked pretty good, and she's gonna be good. She's gonna be good. She's gonna be good. But no, this match was all Layla Hirsch. There was a few spots where they tried to do a belly to belly, and Layla Hirsch tried to get her up, lost her footing, kind of clunkiness and everything. I do like the fact that they did slow it down a little bit, especially Red Velvet, because in previous matches that she's had, She's kind of like gone too fast, and you've seen like a few things that look clunky. It's like, but no, she's improved, and she's she slowed down. But this was a pretty decent match. Uh, Layla Hirsch gets the wrench. She tries to use it, and then out of nowhere, Chris Statlander comes, and she did not have. She was pretty much in all black, and she changed her alien makeup. She looks really good in all black. For those of you going to see this review, I recommend you guys check it out. You probably see it on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. She looks really good. She stands out more now with that look. Like it's just this. It's just like ooh. I wouldn't say it's like Jade Cargill's, where it's just like, oh my gosh, she's a superstar. But when you see Chris Statlander, it's like you have Britt Baker, you have Thunder Rosa, you have Jade Cargill, and then there's Chris Statlander. Like she's that fourth where it's like, ooh, okay, that's a women's wrestler. And it's nothing to take away from the other women's wrestler, but she separated herself by this look. Like she literally separates herself. She distinguishes herself with this look. But man, I recommend it. Let's see. Then you get a backstage segment with QT Marshall. It's basically talking about Hook. So next week he is going to present Hook, which is his prize student, the certificate of accomplishment, or the QT Marshall certificate of accomplishment. Next week, I believe it's on Dynamite or Rampage. I'm not sure. Forgive me. Comment below what it is. So that should be interesting. More than likely, QT Marshall is going to get his ass beat by Hook. That's what's going to happen. And I look forward to it. And I know the people in the audience are going to look forward to it, because usually when Hook is out in the ring, the crowd chants, Hook is gonna kill you. Hook is gonna kill you. So that's what's probably going to happen to QT Marshall. And you know what? I'm going to enjoy it, and it's going to be entertaining when I watch it. There you go. Then we get the match, the trios match, between the House of Black, Fuego del Sol, and Bear Country. And like I tweeted this was going to be a squash match, and it was. The entrance of the House of Black, it is creepy. It's the House of Black entrance. You're kind of like, oh, like, man, that entrance, man, it's up there with the Bray Wyatt Undertaker entrance. Like, it is very intimidating. And I don't say that as, the wrestler has to be intimidating. Like, no. It's an intimidating entrance. You're just like, ooh, okay, these dudes are very, these guys are creepy, but like they're creepy in a way like you don't want to be around them because they're gonna kick your ass. And yeah, that's how it was. But no, this match, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black, the more these guys wrestle, the continuity and the fluidity in their matches just increase. Of course, there was a spot where, was it Braun? I can't remember. One of the Bear Country, they were kind of slow getting to the corner where Buddy Matthews was at, and Malachi, he threw him there, and Brody King clotheslined him. But man, they look good. You can tell that AEW is eventually going to introduce the 6-man tag titles. That is going to be fun when they introduce that. Ooh, boy, this is going to be fun. But no, that was a really good match. Man, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, those guys, the way they're being presented in AEW as compared to what they were presented in WWE is night and day. Again, in AEW, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews and Brody King, they are presented in a more intimidating fashion. Both were intimidated, with the exception of Brody King and Ring of Honor. Both were always, all three guys were presented as intimidating in the respective companies that they work for. But in AEW, there's just a lot more grit and just like, it's an uneasy intimidation where you're just like, I don't want to be around those guys because they're going to hurt someone, and I don't want to be that person that gets hurt. And that's some good stuff. From there, we get a backstage segment with Penta, and he's pretty much speaking in Spanish, and Alex Alejandres, whatever his last name is, Alejandres, is translating and basically saying Death Triangle will always be. So, I believe Ray Phoenix should be returning pretty soon, in a few months or so. That should be fun. Death Triangle versus House of Black. Ooh boy. Give me Buddy Matthews and Ray Phoenix. Man, that's going to be sweet. Then from there, we get the main event, Max Caster versus Keith Lee. And I recommend you guys watch this match. There is a line. Normally on Rampage, of course, you have Mark Henry for the main event. He's interviewing both guys. There is a line that Anthony Bowens tells Keith Lee that had me laughing to the point where I had to control my laughter because, like I mentioned on the Dynamite review, this past week I just had my wisdom tooth right here removed, so it's still a little bit sore. I could talk, but like open up real, it's still, I got some ways to go. I had to control myself because Anthony Bowens tells he tells Keith Lee, we're going to kick your, let me rephrase this. Let me read this. We're going to kick your King Henry VIII sounding ass. That is the line of the night. We're going to kick your King Henry VIII sounding ass. That is creative. This was a great match. I like the rap that Max Caster gave heading to the ring. I tweeted this. Within a year, the Acclaim are going to be AEW Tag Team Champions, and Max Caster should be the TNT Champion. Anthony Bowens also, depending on how they push it. But man, those guys, gold is in their future. Real man, the crowd loves them. Honestly, it's gonna get to a point that AEW is going to have to turn the Acclaimed into baby faces because they're getting huge reactions from the crowd because the crowd, they're entertaining, and we're seeing the growth of the Acclaimed. They're growing. We're watching them grow on TV every week, and they're getting comfortable. They're getting their matches. They actually have one of the most, a few of the soundest matches on TV, and it's so cool to see that. But man, this match with Keith Lee, it was fun. Max Caster, man, he has had some tremendous matches with a lot of wrestlers. I believe he had a few matches with CM Punk, so that was Anthony Bowens. Both guys have had some quality matches with some top tier, like the top guys in AEW, and they were some solid matches. They worked good as a tandem, but they were not enough for Keith Lee. Keith Lee did his finishing move where he puts him up in the almost like a suplex, and then boom, or no, he has him like in an F5, and then he slams him and everything. But that was the end of the match. Now, mind you, during this match, you had Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs on commentary. Pretty much Ricky Starks on commentary. Powerhouse Hobbs was by the commentary team. And Keith Lee is signaling, you want some, come get some, to Powerhouse Hobbs. Before you know it, Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee, they're just swinging. I kind of, Keith Lee was kind of shorthanded, the punches, he wasn't following through. It's come on, man. Powerhouse Hobbs like Lance like, eh. So Ricky Starks gets in. They're beating up Keith Lee. Then the Acclaim get in and they're beating up Keith Lee. Max Caster grabs a speaker. They hit him. They roll Keith Lee in the ring. They're beating him. And then Swerve Strickland music hits. Swerve Strickland comes in, makes the save. Of course, you're like, okay, he's doing this to go after Ricky Starks. And so on and so on. And he's looking at Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks is looking back at him. Turns around, looks at Keith Lee. Keith Lee and him have this stare down. Shane Strickland looks at Keith Lee. They shake up. Keith Lee raises Swerve Strickland's hand, and that is AEW Rampage. I like that ending. Hey, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. I'm down for that. That is a lot of charisma. Man, that is going to be fun how this plays out. I like it. This is gonna be fun. I am going to enjoy this. This is gonna be entertaining. But yeah, this was a pretty cool AEW Rampage show. With the exception of the stupid Dan Lambert line, it was fun. Of course, there was a few things in a few matches that were just like kind of clunky. But man, this was a pretty cool. This was a really cool AEW Rampage show following the NCAA tournament. I would say this was better than the AEW Dynamite show they played, I believe it was last year after the NBA playoffs, where Chris Jericho was the first match and people were roasting Chris Jericho on Twitter. But this was a great show after the NCAA tournament. I'm really interested to see what the ratings were and just the parameter and everything. But overall, it was a good show. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to the 8-man tornado tag match on Dynamite. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen with Hook and QT Marshall and Hook beating his ass. Looking forward to what's going to happen with Chris Statlander and her new look and where that's going to go. And I am definitely interested and looking forward to what's going to happen with Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland as a duo against Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. That's going to be fun. So that is my review for the March 18th episode of AEW Rampage. Like, subscribe, follow House of Wrestling on all social media platforms. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And it was fun. I'm probably going to watch a few of these matches. I'm going to watch the last match and the Darby match and probably the House of Black match. I'm probably going to watch the whole thing all over again, especially the finish. That's one thing I forgot. The finish that, was it the finishing move that, oh man, Buddy Matthews did on Fuego del Sol. I don't know what the hell that was. Whew, that was a fantastic finishing move. But with that, thank you guys. Like I always leave every video, stop fighting over wrestling. All right. Okay, Cody's in WWE. He's not in AEW. I'm going to do a video about that. There's so much good wrestling coming to us in the next month or so. Let's have fun. All right. Everything's going on in the world, especially in overseas. Like, just allow this to escape, for you to escape into, with everything going on in the world. You know, it's escapism. All right. Just enjoy wrestling. All right. With that, I'm out.